So I want to talk about gangs and race and ethnicity and my true opinions or my opinions that I haven't shared about race, gang violence, or at least gang activity and what I think about it. So when I was a kid, I was sold for sex. Uh, I was sold for fighting, and I was returned to my home after that was through. I don't exactly know what happened, but my parents bought me back or something, or they made a deal. I don't know. For the longest time, I didn't even really know if they were my parents because of that. But they are because I look just like each of them. Not really. I look a lot different than they do, but I have features of them that are fairly obvious, like a bent pinky. My mom has this. My mouth. My dad has these lips. Yeah, so I know for a fact that I'm their son. But I can't, that's why I can't agree with gang violence. I know some gangs are against that sort of thing, or they say they are, but in reality, they're not. They would do anything for money, pleasure, anything to get a leg up on the other gangs and the population as a, I don't know, and the population that exists right now, which isn't. I don't know. I don't really believe that every person's a bad person. I think we all grew up how we grew up. Sorry. Uh, and it's kind of painful to talk about this stuff. Anyway, uh, I suppose, I don't know. I've been to jail one time. I didn't join a gang. And I went because I didn't want to get injected with a medication that I didn't think I needed. And I got into a fight. They put me away for 8.5 months for fighting 6 people. Actually, 9 people, but I knocked out 6 people. I can't even remember what happened, but I do know that I knocked out 6 people because I remember I could look. I looked back, saw them all on the ground. Uh, but I can't remember exactly what happened. I just sort of knocked them out, and yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do know that there's just certain things I do know. I don't want to join a gang. If I ever went to prison, I wouldn't join a gang. I don't know what would happen to me. But I wouldn't join the cop gang, and I wouldn't because the cops don't help either. They just that's a TV show, okay? You know what I mean? Like cops on TV shows are able to help people, but in real life, they just pull you over for speeding tickets, and they catch very few people, and the ones they do catch, they don't keep for very long. And if they do keep them for very long, it's in a cruel way that is terrible. So that's their gang. So they do things that are terrible to them. which I can sort of sympathize about, but I can't because I know how terrible the gangs are too. I know they don't deserve that, but at the same time, they should not have done that, if you catch what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, and okay, now when I talk about race, I know I'm white. All right, like I know like if you ask the state, I'm white Caucasian. Whatever. That's their definition of what I am. But I'm not in a gang. I'm not a Nazi. I do have some German DNA, but I'm not a Nazi. I have French DNA too. Anyway, not that that matters. I'm declaring right now that I'm not in a gang, and that I don't want to be in a gang, whether that's the cop gang or any other criminal gangs. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.